Welcome to Littleton Common. I'm Barbara McRae.
And I'm Bob Spinozzi.
Welcome to summer, I think. Hey, Bob, what's with the hot, cold, and...
Well, you're dressed for summer. You're very summery right now in that yellow.
Well, yeah.
But it has been crazy. I mean, these first 10 days of June, I looked at the 10-day forecast rather. It's not going to warm up yet.
Well...
No, not really.
Well, I almost think it's good for the plants, but...
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know what?
Just don't put your sweaters away yet.
Okay.
Keep them out. They're going to need
All
them.
right.
June began with a fun day on Saturday, June 2nd, on the Yap Conservation Land here in Littleton. There was a trail fest with yoga, a 6K and 3K walk, lunch, music, and a petting zoo. And there was so much more. I hope we hear all about how that went and if there will be more like it. If you don't see our 2018 Senior Follies, or if you didn't see it, I should say, then be at the high school auditorium on June 10th when we have another showing of this fun-filled show. Money made from these follies will go to the Friends of the Council on Aging Fund. Hey, it's a movie, folks. A lot of time and talent was put into it, so come and enjoy. It's June 10th at 2 p.m., and tickets are $5 each. Buy them ahead or at the door. Trips are in the future. Littleton will be partnering with Westford on day trips. Tuesday, June 12th, we are heading to Foxwoods and Mohegan Sun casinos. The fee is $36, which will include driver gratuity and is due on sign-up. Bonus and food coupons will be waiting for you when you arrive at the casino. Departure from the Franco-American Club, 55 West Prescott Street in Westford, is at 7:30 a.m. And the first stop is at Foxwoods and then to the Mohegan Sun. If you are interested in this trip, call the Westford Council on Aging at 978-692-5523 to sign up. And you have to state which casino you would prefer.
Have you been down there?
Yeah.
Have you been to the casinos?
Yeah, once.
Same with me.
Yeah.
I don't really gamble, but...
Really?
Yeah.
No, my mother liked it. She would go all the time. And one time I took her just because she wanted to go, but it's not really my thing.
Yeah. It's going to get bigger and bigger, too, because now sports betting is legal.
Yeah.
And they will be getting a cut of that as well, but... I might hook up. I might go. Yeah. That's down at that Franco-American is down the Forge Village section of Westford. So.
Right. And good that we're partnering with Westford now because we haven't been doing trips for a while. And our director decided it would be good to find someone we could tag along with. So we'll be doing it a lot now.
Okay, so we won't roll the dice on that particular thing. We'll keep that. That was bad.
Yeah, that was, okay. Moving on, the police and fire departments are hosting a cookout at noon on June 14th for Littleton seniors. We get to see the new fire station. It really looks beautiful. And if you are going to this cookout, you please call the COA office at 978-540-2470 because they need to know how many are coming. Now, how sweet is this? On Friday, June 15th at 11 a.m., Littleton seniors are invited to a very special concert at Shaker Lane Elementary School. And it's put on by all the kindergarten classes. The concert will be in the cafe and is approximately 30 minutes long. Light snacks and drinks will be offered. So sign up at the COA office and they will welcome all grandmas and grandpas. Medical reports tell us that we need to take care of our mind, bones, muscles, and digestion system. So many seniors forget about teeth health or cannot afford to care for them like they should. This month on June 15th, join Dr. Padma of North Acton Dental and learn about denture care. dry mouth, implant decisions, and other dental concerns for seniors. Be here on Friday, June 15th from 10 to 11:30 a.m. in room 230, and you won't want to miss this important program. Medical reports also tell us to exercise, and we have that here at the Council on Aging. I hear the classes are very good and are growing, so if you'd like to do more exercise, stop in and see what suits you. Take your pick: Fit for Life, Stretch and Flex, Gentle Flow Yoga, and Tai Chi Kui Kwan. Or there is always line dancing. Beginners at 9 a.m. or advanced at 10, and every Monday at the multi-purpose room, and that's the line dancing. Here's your chance to find one and keep your body in motion. The primetime paddlers are spending time in motion during the 7th season of kayaking, and I can't believe that, Bob. 7th season. They enjoy Mother Nature and her waterways. It's free and fun. They meet once a week on Thursdays and paddle as a group. And for more information, call the COA office again, and we will have someone return your call. And I understand that group is growing every year.
Yeah, Barbara, you talk about that growing so much in 7 years. The whole exercise program is really developed.
Yeah, it
I see
has.
a lot of folks coming and going down there.
Yeah, and you know what? They do comment about it a lot and say that they're getting good exercise. They like the instructors, and they feel like it's helping them.
Yeah.
So might be something.
It's a health club, really.
Yeah.
You know it is. There's
Yeah.
so much going down there, and there's so many hours that they're devoting
Well,
towards it.
someday when we have a senior center, maybe we'll have an exercise room with equipment.
I won't go there
Wouldn't that
right
be
now.
nice?
I won't go there right,
Right now, we'll just accept what we've got, but we're looking forward to that big room in the sky.
I think Groton or Pepperell just opened up a new one.
Oh, I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
The library has a host of programs that are available for all ages, and Library Director Sam Alvarez is here to give you the list.
Thanks, Barbara. And here's a sampling of what's happening at the Rubenhor Library in June. The first weekend in June is the library is holding a teen movie matinee at 1:30 p.m. on June 2nd. The film will be the blockbuster hit Black Panther. Teens are also welcome to join our teen advisory group. We want your input on how we can improve the library, what services you'd like us to offer, what books and other materials we should purchase, and more. So stop by the library on Saturday, June 9th at 2 to learn more about this group for teens. Teens are also welcome to join us for Teen Coloring Night at the library on Tuesday, June 12th at 6:30 p.m. There will be snacks, music, and coloring sheets provided. Don't forget to visit the Friends of the Rubenhor Library booth at the third Thursday this month in Fay Park. There'll be lots of fun activities for the kids, books and information about the Friends group, and our new library project. The Friends of the Library will also be book sorting on Sunday, June 17th from 1 to 3 p.m. This is a great opportunity to get community service credit or just to help out our Friends group as they sort all of the books that get donated to the library. Sign up for summer reading begins on June 18th. The theme this year is Libraries Rock. Summer reading is for all ages, so be sure to stop by the library and sign up. The Mystery Reading Group meets on Tuesday, June 26th at 7 p.m. The book this month is Wolf by Mo Hader. You can check out the book at the library and discuss your thoughts with others during this event. At the library, we're about more than just books. We have video games, Kindles, Wi-Fi hotspots, and even a telescope that you can check out. Recently, we acquired a new genealogy database called Family Search. This site allows you to search for family trees and view historical data like birth, wedding, and death records from all over the world. It's a great resource for anyone looking to learn more about their family history. We also have several museum passes available for patrons to check out for free. Check out a museum pass to the New England Aquarium, the Museum of Fine Arts, the zoo, and many other local attractions. Passes are available for free to our patrons and provide discounts for the whole family. So stop by the library to learn more. And as always, please remember that the Rubenhor Library is your library. We're open to all and we're always free. So stop into the library and visit us online at littletonlibrary.org and find out what we can do to enrich your life. Thank you, and I'll see you next month with more news from your library.
Thanks, Sam. Now, the movie this month at the council is The Post, directed by Steven Spielberg, with Meryl Streep, Tom Hanks, Sarah Paulson, and Bob Odenkirk. The movie involves a cover-up that spans 4 U.S. presidents and pushed the country's first female newspaper publisher and hard-driving editor to join an unprecedented battle between the press and the government. Sounds like a must-see. Date is June 29th at 1 p.m., room 230. Sign up at the COA office. The usual number, 540-2470. You know, it's a good movie. The Post, the Washington Post newspaper. And really starts from, 1966 in Vietnam, and then continues through Watergate and beyond, so.
Yeah, they've been showing some good movies here.
Yeah, and you saw the cast, dynamic actors.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, so, cool.
So good. So people should come and see it. Tips for transitioning, decluttering, downsizing, and moving is going to be on Friday, June 22nd. Marie LeBlanc, owner of Transitions Liquidation Services, will talk frankly and sincerely about her experience while helping seniors and their loved ones ease the stress of decluttering, downsizing, and moving. The emotions of transitioning to a new home and surroundings can be reduced with Marie's help. Her company has guided over 900 successful moves, and the presentation will cover getting started, making decisions, options for selling, donating, and making the move and the next steps. Residents of Littleton and surrounding areas are invited. Lunch is included, so sign up is a must. So call the COA office to register. St. Andrew's Episcopal Church is hosting the 3rd annual benefit concert and gala reception at 3 p.m. on Sunday, June 17th at the Groton School's St. John's Chapel. The Amethyst Chamber Ensemble returns with an inspired selection of opera to spirituals, serious to humorous. Proceeds from the concert will support St. Andrew's outreach with Loaves and Fishes, Devon's, Esperanza Academy in Lowell, and the Society of St. Margaret's work with women and children in Haiti. Tickets are $25 for adults, $20 for seniors and students, and children under 12 are free. For more information, visit the church website that you can see here. Do you play chess or want to learn to play? Littleton seniors are invited to attend free chess club and chess classes at the Acton COA. There is a beginner's chess class on Thursdays from 12:30 to 2 p.m., an intermediate chess class Thursday from 2 to 3:30 p.m. Experienced players meet on Thursdays from 1:30 to 4:30 p.m., and all classes meet at the Acton Senior Center, 30 Sudbury Road, Acton. We are still looking for help with the thrift shop. I want to retire, and I'm planning on doing this soon, and I will give the management job to somebody else. We need to find someone, or even a few someones, to do the job. If you would like to learn more about the thrift shop, come in and talk to our volunteers, and we will help you decide. On May 10th, Bill Vales held his last computer class for this season, and he'll see you again in September when the new classes begin. You know, if you have been to the town office building lately, you might notice the activity at the Courtyard Entrance. Sharon Corbin decided it needed an upgrade, so she went out and found organizations that would help with the finances. She then got Kim Ahern to design a plan, and then excavation and plantings were done by Phil Lafrada and it was done by Phil Lafrada, and then Christine Oberski's Girl Scout troop volunteered to plant flowers and host an open house. This troop consists of 5 fifth-grade girls. Sharon was a busy lady, but all is going as planned. Take the time to see how this all took shape, and then come to the open house and the grand opening. And that's going to be on June 8th. The Girl Scouts hope to have an interactive segment with seniors, and that'll be from 12 to 12:45. And then the open house from 12:45 to 1:30. So watch for posters. These girls are so excited to do this, and they will earn a bronze award for completing the project. And while we are speaking of Scouts, Bob, didn't they celebrate their 100th anniversary?
They sure did.
Oh, so
They sure
tell
did.
us.
We'll tell everybody about it. The Boy Scouts. They came to Littleton on May 13th, 1918, when Boy Scout Troop 1 was established. Since then, scouting in Littleton has grown into 2 troops, 2 cub packs, an explorer post, an adventure crew, along with the original Campfire Girls and Girl Scouts. Now today it's our pleasure to visit with Kevin O'Connor, Scoutmaster for Littleton Troop 1. Kevin, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Okay, so the Boy Scouts started in America in 1910.
That's correct.
So give us a little bit of overview of exactly what the Boy Scouts are.
Sure. Well, as you mentioned, they were founded in 1910 in the U.S. They had been in existence in England before that. And it turns out that the gentleman who founded the Boy Scouts of America happened to be in England at one point, and was lost and couldn't quite find his way around. And a young man helped him get to where he needed to be, and he was about to tip the young gentleman, and the young man said, no, this is part of my service, my daily good deed for the day. And Mr. Baden-Powell said to him, it's an interesting thing. Why would you not like a tip? And so he explained about the scouting organization that he was a part of in England, and Mr. Powell said, oh my goodness, that sounds like a great idea. I think I'll bring that back to the U.S. And in 1910 founded the Boy Scouts of America.
So that's pretty much where it started.
Yeah, that's it. So. You brought it over.
And now you've expanded so much.
Yeah.
And in Littleton alone, if we get to Littleton
Sure.
specifically, we have 2 troops here.
We do.
You have 1, I believe it's Troop 1, number 1.
That is correct.
And there's a troop number 20.
Troop 20, yep.
20. And tell us a little bit about...
Well, in 1918, we founded Troop 1 in Littleton. And
so this very year you'll be celebrating your 100th.
This is our 100th anniversary. Matter of fact, right here,
Okay.
I have a little,
Oh, there you go.
little special patch that's for our 100th anniversary, and I'll talk a little bit more about a couple of those other couple things in a bit. And not long after that, the Cub Scouts were founded, I want to say in the 40s, around there, and we now have 2 Cub Scout packs in town as well as a venture troop. A venture crew is actually the correct term. The correct term for a venturing group, and we have had an explorer troop in town in the past, as well as our Girl Scout troops.
What are the age parameters now for Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts?
Cub Scouts actually just got even younger. I remember when I was in Scouts, we started, I don't know, around the 2nd grade, maybe 8th grade, second or 3rd grade rather, age 8. But now it's starting at as early as age 5 and 6 with something called the Lion Cubs. And that's a new program that just started, I believe, last year. So that goes up to about age 11, about 5th grade, and then the boys can transition into Boy Scouts. And you can be in Boy Scouts as a Boy Scout until you're 18.
18.
By and large, there are some exceptions for young men with disabilities that they can take longer, and they can actually be in Boy Scouts for as long as they wish. We have a troop in Fitchburg where there's actually some gentlemen in their 40s that are still Boy Scouts in that troop. We see them up at camp every once in a while. It's
very unusual.
Yeah.
And now starting next year, is it? You will be having women, young girls will be...
In Cub Scouts, that started this year.
Okay.
The Cub Scouts can begin to have young girls in their packs. And I believe you're right, starting next year, young ladies can join the Boy Scouts. Or we're going to start calling ourselves just Scouts. We've heard that from our national, but where the name of our young people are going to be Scouts as opposed to Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts.
Do you have interaction, Kevin, with your troop and Troop 20?
Oh yeah, yes, quite a bit. We have had Boy Scouts. The troop tends to take on the color of the members or the leadership a bit, and some boys find it they'll be easier to work with one of the other groups. So boys have transitioned in both directions. I'm a young man who actually lives across the street from me. I remember went to Troop 20 about 4 years ago and is now an Eagle Scout there. We've had a couple of boys come over from Troop 20 over to our troop, so it's a great relationship between them. When we go to camp in the summer, we go to a place called Camp Winoxet, which I imagine we'll talk about in a bit, up in Dublin, New Hampshire.
We're going to talk about that now.
Oh, okay.
So you do a lot of, I've been on your, they have a great website, you have to go on the website, but from that I took out some information on some of the other activities that you have. Why don't you start out with that one?
Okay. Every summer we go up to Camp Winoxet, which is the camp that's sponsored by the Nashua Valley Council. That's the council, the larger group of Boy Scout troops in our area. And they have a camp up there that's been in existence since 1924, when the land was first donated to the scouting organization. And it's an amazing time for the boys. Up there we camp out in tents on platforms in different campsites. The campsites by and large are named for Native American tribes, except for one. And one campsite is called Rotary, and it was the funds to found that campsite and build it up were actually donated by the Littleton Rotary Club.
One of the many other things that they do.
Oh, they do so much for our town. And in addition, there's a climbing wall and a climbing tower that we have up there, and that was assembled and put up by our own Littleton Electric Light Department. Wow. So Littleton has had a lot to do with the upkeep of Winoxet. So as I was mentioning, we go up there for 1 week as a troop, and we generally go the week after for the 4th of July. And then Troop 20 tends to go about a month after that. And it turns out that, especially for Troop 20, because there's a number of boys that are involved in sports, fall sports and things, and that starts up just about that time. So they come with us. So we'll often have 3 or 4 boys from Troop 20 camping with us up at Winoxet. And a couple of our boys will like camp so much that they'll go again with Troop 20. We have a couple of boys doing that again this year. So we have a good relationship between the two troops. Yeah. We've had joint service projects. Every year we do 2 main ones together, service projects, and those both have to do with veterans in the cemetery in the area.
Well, certainly you're together for the Memorial Day parade, and then you're assembling some flags down at the West Lawn Cemetery?
We set flags on all the veterans' graves just before Memorial Day. We'll do that the Saturday before Memorial Day. And we have a flag retirement ceremony on Veterans Day up at West Lawn as well. In fact, an Eagle project by Troop 20, one of Troop 20's Eagle Scouts, and we'll talk about those in a little bit, was to build a new pit to actually retire the flags, which is a great thing.
Yeah, and maybe every 2-3 years my flag at home rips from the wind, so I'm having to replace it.
And you bring it to one of those boxes that we have just out here.
One downstairs.
And that was actually another Eagle project by one of the Troop 20.
That's the very one I used.
Yeah, and that box was assembled by one of the sons of a former Scoutmaster of Troop 20, one of the Calderberg boys.
Okay. Yeah, but that website that I mentioned that I went into, it mentioned that you do winter camping, a canoe trip down the Nashua River. Yep. So many other things. You're wearing one badge there.
Oh, yes.
And then
this one.
The Philmont.
Philmont. Well, Philmont's a special.
That's something else now.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about that.
So
those are jamborees.
No, the jamboree is something different.
Okay.
Something different. There are 4 high adventure camps around the U.S. Philmont was the first, and that's sort of what's kind of considered the pinnacle of scouting. I'm actually excited.
Now this is in New Mexico now.
It is.
Yeah.
Cimarron, New Mexico, and you go for 2 weeks and spend 11 days out in the bush.
Now, initially, is this kind of intimidating to some of these kids?
Oh, it's intimidating to everybody.
No,
Me
but
too.
11 straight days,
Yes.
and you're not home.
You're not home. You've got everything
You're in the
that
high
you need.
desert. The climate out there it's cold.
No,
At night.
it's actually
At
very
night?
hot. We're usually, it does get cool up in the mountains at night.
Yeah.
But so it varies. So we could hit 100.
But anyway, there's
during the
some
day, and then
intimidation here,
40s.
so,
Oh,
yeah.
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 And in fact, when we go out there, you generally try to get there about 3 days early to do some acclimation to the area. At least we do from the East
You're
Coast.
at a much higher elevation.
Much
Maybe
higher. We
6,000,
start
7,000.
out at about 6,000 or 7,000, and the highest on the trek that we did when I was out there in 2015 was something called the fishing trek. And even though we called it the fishing trek, I think we maybe got to fish 4 or 5 days, but we hit Mount Phillips, which is a 13,000-foot mountain. We hit the peak of that. After climbing up one side of that, we thought we were going to die. And then we came down the other side. So it depends on the trek that you do. Some folks come up one side and go down the other. We went up the steep straight side and down the long switchbacks. And after we did both, I'm really not sure which would have been worse. The nice switchback hike, which is long, but kind of gradual to get up to the top, and then you're just about sliding down on your butt to get the
other
on
side.
the other side. And that was the side that we crawled up.
You said
with
it
our
was Phillips
60-pound packs.
Mountain.
Mount Phillips.
Was that part of the San Cristo mountain range, I believe it's called out there?
We
don't have to
I
talk
couldn't
about-
tell you that.
yeah, well, we don't have to talk about that.
But there are that's the second highest peak in the camp.
Okay.
In the area. We stayed at a couple of sites. One was a place where the boys could shoot black powder, 50 caliber rifles. They had a blast in that. And I have some pictures. In fact, I think there'll be some pictures on the website of these puffs of white smoke coming out of the end of these enormous rifles that the
I
guys
saw that one, I think, yeah.
are holding up. We did some hatchet tossing at targets. We saw lots of mule deer, lots of things called mini bears, which are what they call their chipmunks out there, because they're a lot like bears. They'll come in, they'll steal all your food and leave. We were fortunate enough not to see any bears while we're out there, but that's a big deal out there. Every night, as soon as you get to your camping site, the first thing you do is get your food that you're not going to eat that night, and these things they call smellables, which are things that bears like to eat, like deodorant. For some reason, they like deodorants and toothpaste. So you put all those things into these bags and string them up in trees, so that you're actually on lines that go between trees generally. And that's the first thing you have to do when you get to your campsite at night, is to get your bear bags up. Then you can start cooking your meal for the day. And you're usually pretty beat, because we may have hiked, 8-10 miles with a 60-pound pack on your back that day. So it's
So come on, guys, brush your teeth before you put the toothpaste in the
well,
sack.
we have this. There's another trick called the oops bag. So you have an extra carabiner hung up over that with a line through it, and then after you've eaten and cleaned up and brushed your teeth, then you put all the extra stuff that might be smellables in the oops bag and pull that up. So you learn quite a bit about going through about living off the land and being in the desert out there.
Do you want to pull this up,
Sure.
Kevin? I'm going to hold this for you.
Mm-hmm. This, right here, is a number of, hold it up a little bit more, is a number of badges and a special neckerchief that we put together for our 100th anniversary. These were designed, or at least voted on, by the boys in the troop. We'll start up here. This is a special badge that we made for our eagles. Okay. So only eagles can get this badge. Anyone can have this badge. This is a 100th anniversary. The boys liked the two of them, and we made a special version for Eagle Scouts. Those three colors, the red, white, and blue, are part of the ribbon that is on an Eagle Scout badge. So that's where that came from. Down here, we made a special shoulder patch to celebrate the 100th anniversary, and there's an apple representing Littleton, and that's a picture of Long Lake from the beach.
That's great.
Yeah, and then over here, this is a little view of Beaver Brook actually, from the bridge at 110-2A. If you're standing there by the corner of Warren Street that goes down to the old Parley Lumber site. And then this is our special 100th anniversary neckerchief. Now it's folded up in a square, but it's actually a big triangle. And the moose and the Native American are part of our logo, our design, our shield, if you will.
Those are all great ideas.
Yeah, the boys
really
had a blast
are
doing them.
Yeah.
And this in particular is going to be donated to the Banks Museum.
Oh, great.
So that's why we put it in
Yeah.
a nice what do they call these? Shadow box? I think that's the right word. Shadow box for them. So
That looks great.
Yeah, you'll be able to see this at the Banks Museum at some point. Probably after our 100th anniversary party, which is going to be this summer.
So will they have these patches on their uniforms too then?
They do. I have one
You have
right
one
now
right there?
myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some of the boys are wearing some of the other ones. We gave them out to them in January of this year. And the boys have to earn their first badge, their Scout badge, in order to get their green neckerchief. When they first join the Boy Scouts from the Cub Scouts or just join, they get a BSA red neckerchief. That's what we give them, is a red one. Everyone can choose their own colors. We give them a red one, and then once they've earned their first badge, their first Scout badge, we'll give them their green neckerchief.
Let's talk about you for a
Me?
little bit.
Oh,
Let's
goodness.
talk about the fact that I've read, at least, that there are about 2.4 million Boy Scouts in the whole country. And
Yep.
I've read that
Okay.
there are thousands and thousands of volunteers like yourself.
There are.
Sometimes that might go
We're all
unnoticed.
volunteers, except for there's very few paid positions in the Boy Scouts. There are several at council, which for us is the National Valley Council, and they're headquartered in Lancaster. And then there are national positions as well that are paid, but most are not. In fact, things like the camp that we go to, Camp Winoxet, that we mentioned, the upkeep of that is mostly donated time. You know, the fact we just got a call out to us saying, "Hey, we could use some help cleaning up the camp to get ready for summer, and we're going to do it this weekend and that weekend. So if anyone would like to come up and help out, we'd appreciate it." So we can send folks up to help out with that.
So with your Troop 1, there's a lot of interaction amongst you and a lot of other folks.
Sure. When we do our local, you mentioned the jamborees. We haven't, well, not during my tenure, we haven't taken the boys to a national jamboree, but we have gone to a Massachusetts jamboree, and we may go again this fall. There's going to be the 2018 Mass Jam on the Cape. And that's usually a lot of fun. We go down, we camp for a couple of days. They have a lot of activities for the boys to run around and do. There's archery contests. They have done.
Is it always down the Cape, or it just happens to be down the Cape
The
this
last
year?
couple of times has been at the Cape. I think it can move around because I think they try to make it easy for different areas of the state to get to. They have rocket contests made with soda bottles and see who goes the highest, things like that. The boys have a lot of fun. Yeah, and there's usually music and jamming around that night, things like that. So they have a good time. We'll see if they choose to do it. That's another thing I probably should mention about the Boy Scouts. Even though there are adult volunteers, to kind of keep things sort of between certain parameters and to keep things safe. A lot of the activities are chosen by the boys, and they plan we meet on Tuesday nights. They plan each of our meetings. I have a patrol leadership council made up of my senior patrol leader, his assistant patrol leaders and assistant senior patrol leaders, and our patrol leaders that set the agendas for each meeting. And as a matter of fact, they also plan the outline of our camping trips each year. So we'll be having a big meeting in June where they'll be planning the camping trips for the next year. So they'll choose to do things like you mentioned we went down to the Cape. We did a biking trip on the National Seashore bike, or I guess that's the rail line. There. We biked on that and camped down at what is the camp down on the Cape there in Brewster? Nickerson State Park. I think that's.
I've heard of it.
That's it.
I've heard of it.
And we camped there. We just did a hike and camp at Mount Cardigan, which is a mountain sort of in the center of New Hampshire. And there's an AMC lodge at the base and an AMC cabin about 3/4 of the way up the mountain, and you can rent that cabin. We did. There are 12 bunks in there, so we hike up to the cabin. We stay there. There's no running water. We have to either carry that or collect it from a stream and purify it. And then we can take a quick hike up to the summit, which is a bald summit, and there is a fire tower up at the top. We were there in April, and if you do happen to show some pictures from that, you'll see the rime ice on the fire tower that's, I think, stretched about 2 feet beyond the metal. So it just gradually grew out, and it was quite the sight up there, even in April. So we did that. Where else have we done this? We like to go up to New Ipswich, to the windblown cross-country ski area.
New Hampshire
for a trip. This is in New Hampshire?
Yeah.
Yep, New Ipswich, New Hampshire. And ski out for the day out to their warming hut and stay overnight in the warming hut and then ski back. The boys really like that trip. They get out to the hut, they play cards and drink hot chocolate, whatever we happen to carry. Well, that one, not all on our back. That one, we actually do pull a sled behind us with a bunch of stuff in it.
You're having a lot of fun, and
We too.
you're not even an hour from here.
It's a great place.
Yeah.
Great spot.
So Kevin, any final thoughts?
Sure. With this being our 100th anniversary, we have a little committee that we put together, and they're sponsoring an Eagle Project scavenger hunt around town. We've had.
Now, when is this going to take place?
This is happening. This is happening now. We actually
okay.
had a little thing in the Littleton Independent recently, and I'll announce this as well to anyone who's watching. Anyone who's under 18 can go around and either take a selfie or some sort of a picture that would represent them, maybe a stuffed animal or something, near one of the 62 sites for Eagle projects in town. Now we'll have an email address that we'll show on here that you can contact and get this list of the Eagle Project sites. We've had 72 Eagles in Troop 1, and in 1965 they began the Eagle Project as part of the requirements, and we have about 62 projects in town that you can actually go see things that we have done in service for the town that the Scouts over the years have done in service for the town. And we've got some wonderful projects around. We've got let's see, some new ones. On Newtown Road, near where it becomes Goldsmith Street, there's a garden, a community garden there, and the fence that keeps critters out of that garden was one of our Eagle projects. Yeah. There's a wildlife viewing area on the Newtown Hill site. That was another one. Trail maintenance and building those little kiosks at the heads of the trails and some of the wonderful hiking trails that we have in town are Eagle Scout projects. And even some ones that are even more a little different. We have one that rebuilt a barn, refurbished a barn that's going to be used for teaching disabled students about raising animals, and that's actually right in town here, right on the corner of Goldsmith and I want to say Worcester, one of the roads right over there. So, yeah, that's there's some great ones in town that we've been able to do, and scouting's a wonderful project for boys and soon women to join. Keep you away from screens a bit, get you to experience the outside. It's a wonderful program.
And they have your enthusiasm, and I'm sure it's
I hope so.
Contagious as heck.
I'd like to think so.
Thanks so much.
Thank you very much. I enjoyed it.
Well, that was, I know that it probably was fun to listen to how it all began.
Yeah, and Kevin mentioned the Eagle Scouts. It's the highest rank that you can get. Mm-hmm. And there have been 72 awarded in Littleton.
Wow.
72 Eagle Scouts, 72 different projects. They each, have a project. And we're talking about projects that are in conservation land and trail improvements here in town, projects to help the schools, the libraries, and fire department, and just recognition of our veterans.
Sure.
So it's quite an achievement.
Yeah, we had an Eagle Scout build some containers for herbs for our courtyard.
Okay,
So-
that would have been one of the 72.
Yeah. Yep.
Were you ever a Girl Scout?
I was for a short time, and when we lived in Torrington, Connecticut, my aunt was a Scout leader, and so she made me join.
She made it easier for you or
It would
harder
have
for you?
been it would have been fun if it wasn't your aunt, and my aunt is a mean aunt. No, she made sure that I did all the things I had. If I had had a stranger, it would have been more fun for me. But
Now, Barbara, I know you are a lot of really good things, and one of them is a really good salesperson, so I bet you sold a lot of cookies.
yeah, I
Not
don't
true?
even remember. It was like 100 years ago. But
No, it wasn't.
we're thinking about the courtyard looking so spiffy. But last month we talked about our gardens. Remember? Yeah. So what's happening? I know yours is probably ready to bloom.
What should we do? Should we insert the pictures in after we edit the?
Yeah.
Should we sneak them in?
I think so. Yeah,
'Cause
I
I didn't
better.
bring mine either.
I know.
Yeah.
We got to give Nancy credit for this, these gardens,
yeah.
because she does a good job.
Okay.
And I've been working so hard on my gardens. I mean, every minute I get up like real early in the morning, go out there, and so yeah, I'm pleased to.
Yeah.
They're
Just
not blooming yet though, because it's a little early.
Be careful with those ticks, though.
Oh yeah, I already had 2, but yeah, it's ready to bloom, and I'm excited. I can't wait. I did it early so that I can enjoy them this summer, and eventually I'll have the garden club gals come over for dessert and to look at the garden.
You always put on a good show.
Yeah. Well, folks, I hope you all have a great summer, and don't forget to hug a senior.